Hi folks, G3 here, and welcome to another instalment of my journey to go green. In today's episode, I'm going to take you through changing a halogen bulb to an LED bulb. Before we get started, if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon. It would really help. Thanks. Now, recently, the halogen bulb in my uplighter blew. Now, I know that this used quite a bit of electricity. It was an old light and it gave out an awful lot of light, but it also got very hot and used a lot of electricity. Now that it's blown, I want to look at changing that to an LED bulb and see if it's possible to find one that would fit and to look at the cost saving from doing that. This is the type of halogen bulb that my uplighter uses. The fitting is an R7S. The bulb is 118 millimeters long and it's also known as a J118 because of the length. It's got a filament running throughout it. This particular one is 230 watts. It has an average lifespan of approximately 2,000 hours. This particular one was 5,000 lumens. Now that's the warmth of the light that it's giving out. And this bulb is also dimmable, so I was able to use the dimmer facility on my uplighter. Typically, these bulbs seem to cost from about £2.50 upwards. Researching the type of LED bulbs that were available, I was a little bit unsure because they looked very big compared to the halogen bulb. They looked to be very chunky to fit the same number of, to fit enough LEDs on the bulb to give the correct brightness. It looked like it might be too big, but I measured the space available in my uplighter to see whether the width of the bulb would fit, and I found that it would, so that was good. The type of LED bulb I found was an unbranded 18 watt bulb with the R7S connection. It's 118 millimeters long, it's 28 millimeters across, and it contains 192 LEDs. Predominantly, it's a ceramic material that the LED bulbs are contained within, but there is a little bit of plastic used within the bulb itself. One thing that is noticeable with these LED bulbs is that this one isn't dimmable, so it's either going to be fully on or off. It is giving out a lower lumen. It's only 2,400 lumens compared to 5,000, so there will be a difference in the type of light that I'll be getting from it. The LED bulbs are a lot more expensive. So although I could pick up a halogen for round about £2.50, this particular bulb is just under £19. So it's a lot more expensive. But I'll come back to the maths in a moment, once we've had a look at fitting the bulb. It's energy efficiency A star star. So it's the most efficient that's possible on here, considering the halogen bulbs were C and this is A star star. So it's a lot more efficient, which is great. Let's take a look. That's the bulb, it's massive. When you compare it to the halogen, I mean, it's the same length, but it's a lot chunkier. But it has got 192 LED bulbs, apart from on the underside. Now that was what I was concerned about. I thought that these would be too big to fit within the space that I've got. But it's got the connection towards the bottom of the bulb. So when this will connect in, most of the bulb is above the surface. As there's a bit of height to an uplighter, I've made sure that I've got my steps in place to get up there safely. Now let's have a look at fitting this bulb. The first thing to do is unscrew the brackets that are containing the glass protector for the bulb. Now the reason that this is on here is because the old halogen bulb gets very hot, and so it's protecting the bulb from things like moths and flies that could potentially get on there and cause a bit of a fire hazard. Unclip the halogen bulb just by pulling it to one side gently, and that removes it from the retaining brackets. And it's time to fit the LED bulb. And that just slots in the same way. So just push it in gently into the retaining bracket and then again in the other other side, and that's in place. Because it is so big, it won't fit the glass protector over it, but this is a lot safer because it doesn't have the same heat output that the halogen bulb will have, so it doesn't need that retaining safety bracket on there anyhow. So turning it on, we can see the brightness that gets emitted from the bulb and check that it's working okay. And that is nice and bright. Now let's take a look at the potential cost saving through using this bulb, because let's face it, they're expensive to buy in the first place. But over its lifetime, in theory, it should be saving me money compared to the halogen bulbs. Now what I found was a website that I'll include the link to down below, gecurrent.com. Now it's an American website, so the calculations here are in dollars, but if you put in pound values, it's going to be the same values that are returned. It's just as dollar symbols there. And it is a simple life cycle cost estimator for bulbs. Now the steps that you need to go through initially are to put in the average number of hours that the bulb is going to be on per year. Now I assumed that mine was going to be on 3 hours a night. So over the course of the full year, that equates to 1,092 hours. And the electric cost per kilowatt hour, well, mine is 12.1 pence. And so that goes in as 0.121 as the electric cost per kilowatt hour. Then you need to put in the first bulb. So this is the halogen bulb that's being replaced. And the watts for mine was 230. The cost for the bulb, the cheapest that I could get it, new, was £2.43. Obviously they say that's showing this dollar symbol, but it's in pounds with this conversion. The life cycle of that bulb in hours is approximately 2,000. It doesn't cost me anything to replace the lamp. But obviously if you needed to get somebody in to replace it, then you'd need to factor in that cost. But changing a light bulb, it's fairly straightforward. And the lumens of that lamp was 5,000. Now let's look at the second bulb, and this is the LED bulb. That has a wattage of 18 watts. It cost me £18.99. It has a much longer lifespan, estimated lifespan, of 30,000 hours. Again, no cost to replace the bulb because I put it in there. And the mean lumens is 2,400 for this bulb. You then hit the calculate button and it will show you the results. And what it's showing us here is that for the halogen, the cost over the life of the lamp is £58.09. The cost per 1,000 hours is £29.04. The cost per year is £31.72. And the cost per million lumen hours is £5.81. So this gives you a easier identifier to try and work out the different value between bulbs if you look at it as the cost per million lumen hours. So let's look at the LED bulb now, and that is £84.33, the cost over the life of the lamp. So that's both the bulb and the electricity cost. The cost per 1,000 hours is £2.81, so that is a lot lower than the halogen bulb. The cost per year is £3.07, so again it's like 10% of the cost of the halogen bulb. And so the cost per million lumen hours is £1.17 compared to the £5.81 cost per million lumen hours for the halogen bulb. So the savings for using the LED bulb per year for me will be £28.65. That's not bad. I know the bulb initially is quite a lot to buy, but in theory the length of the time that that bulb is going to be running compared to the halogen bulb and the electricity that it's going to be using during that time is a lot less. So it's going to save me almost £30 a year, which I think is a good saving. So in theory, this is an easy win. It's easy enough to change the bulb over to an LED one, and it will save me money. That's a win. If you've got experience of changing these bulbs over to LED, then please let me know in the comments. Tell me what you think about changing over from halogen bulbs to LED. Have you found it a big cost saving? Have you found the LED bulbs maybe not living up to expectations? I have the issue that I can't use the dimmer on the light now, but in truth, I never really did. It was either off or on for me. I didn't have it at an in-between level, so it makes no difference. But obviously for you, you might find that you miss having it as a dimmable bulb. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, if you did enjoy it, please click the like button. It encourages YouTube to show this video to others that it might be of interest to. And also, please, if you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so you get notified when I load up a new video. So thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate it. Until next time, bye.